are here for Historic Military Impressions, your premier provider of museum quality exhibits designed to add value to short-term public events. Today I was going to talk to you about the M-72 Law, lightweight anti-tank weapon, first used in Vietnam, still in service today. In front of you I have two M-72s and one M-72A1 Law rocket, all of which, for what I have been told, were initially fired in Vietnam and brought home as war trophies, if you will. The first example, the M-72, this one was made in 1967. Your firing mechanism on the top. On the side had the release to open and close the tube if necessary. And on this version, your safety is right here. Your front sight would flip down inside of the tube and come up. And then obviously there's just a small little metal housing that would hold your rear sight aperture. The next one here, this one was 1968. Basically, the big difference, it's still an M-72, but they made a difference to the housing here that not only does it cover the rear sight, it also covers your firing button. The only thing I can conclude is that on this particular version of it, maybe it was possible to arm it and accidentally fire it, so they had to change how this piece of metal sits, make it more beefy so you can't actually push down the firing button. But on the M-72s also, I'll open this up. Basically, you open the box, you would drop down this cap. Unfortunately, this one is a little loose. Shouldn't come off that way. You have your front cap would come off. Your front sight would come up. In other words, it would normally have a front sight like this, but this version, the front sight has been broken. You would basically then grab it here and here, and you would pull it, locking it in place. Now it's locked. Normally this piece would stay here. You have a little pin that you pull out here. You have your rear sight, your front sight. It is armed. You would turn it and then arming it in, and you would fire it. On the M-72s, you have this cable here. And I have been told by veterans that when you held it, if you weren't careful, you leaned too far into it, when it fired, there was the potential that this cable could actually cut you across the cheek. And I believe that is why when they introduced the M-72A1, they made some changes to it, primarily getting rid of this cable. Last example is the M-72A1. This one was made in 1972. You can see there's a big change on the front up in here. You have, like on the side of the earlier ones, you have the button right here that allows you to push in, and then you can slide the tube back closed. Now it sits up here, so basically, and this little arming pin that I pulled out isn't there anymore. So you basically open it, take your front cap off. Notice this is how it's supposed to stay. Again, hand, pop it open, lock. Notice that the cable is gone, and you basically have a little wire in here. I'll make it a little bit safe. Completely different rear sight, completely different front sight, where it's basically, instead of it flipping up from the inside of the tube, it now comes up from basically a little area where it's housed. You would arm it, and then aim it, and then fire. And then if you wanted to close it, let's say you didn't fire it, you'd have to push in here while you slowly work it back closed, and then you kind of work your front and rear sights back in. And then theoretically, you would basically, when you're done with its use, you could theoretically toss it on the side of the road. However, in Vietnam, what they discovered was the Vietnamese were excellent at recycling. This tube could actually be turned into a 60mm mortar. It could be turned in, fill it full of grenades, hang it from a tree, tripwire, it would swing, sending grenades flying. So although on paper it was theoretically okay to just toss them, if you did it, it would be recycled in Vietnam and be used to cause you harm later by the Viet Cong. So the Law rockets are still in use today. I think they're on the M-72A1 now, mostly internal changes. They still pretty much look like this. So I thought I'd share with you some of the differences in the Law rockets. And as always, tell us what you think. Like and share our videos. If you have any comments you want to send to me, you can always email me. If you'd like to learn anything more about what we do or our exhibits, you can email me. And until next time, I hope you have a great week. October is right around the corner. I hope everyone has a great fall. And as I had mentioned in yesterday's video, October 7th, the exhibit behind me in this room will be open. Come on down, check us out, and I hope you have a good day. Thank you for watching, and until next time.